Researchers for Natural Health are constantly updating their information about the best ways to prevent catastrophic events like hip fractures. The latest revelations about true bone health show us why high-quality supplements are a great addition to the pharmaceutical industry answer to osteoporosis, biphosphonates like Fosamax. The medical routine is simple. People exhibiting bone loss or people in a health category which may precede bone loss, such as postmenopausal women, are sent for a bone density scan. If the results of the scan are just 2 standard deviations below the norm, the person will be diagnosed with osteoporosis, having brittle and fragile bones, and prescribed a biphosphonate medication like Fosamax and told to take calcium and vitamin D as well. But after years of being prescribed to fix the problem of osteoporosis, the drug maker Merck has thousands of lawsuits pending against it because Fosamax may actually be creating more problems than it is fixing, and bone fractures continue to be a problem even after taking the drug. According to Dr. John Lee, a well-known medical doctor and researcher on women's hormones and bone density, Fosamax is in the same chemical class, phosphonate, that is used in the cleaners used to remove soap scum from your bathtub. This is a metabolic poison that actually kills the osteoclast, the cells that remove bone, so your osteoblast can actually rebuild more bone. It is quite clear that if you kill these cells, your bone will get denser. What these studies do not show is that 4 years later, the bone actually becomes weaker, even though it is more dense. This is because bone is a dynamic structure and requires the removal and replacement of new bone to stay strong. Fosamax does not build any new bone. According to Dr. Kenneth Adams, the whole point of the prescription is supposed to reduce bone fractures by building more and denser bone mass. Dr. Adams says that the problem isn't bone density in the first place. A dense bone is still subject to fracture, so making the bones denser doesn't really solve the problem. What is needed is to increase the structural integrity of the bone. Take 2 blocks of equal density, illustrates Dr. Adams, 1 block made of ice, 1 block made of wood. Because the water molecules are not physically connected to each other, when you apply force downwards on the ice, it will crack before the block of wood will. They both have the same density, but under certain stresses, one will remain intact and the other will break. It has more to do with how the matrix of molecules connects to each other rather than sheer density. It is the same with bones, he said. You could take 2 femurs of the same density and stress them. One will break and the other won't. It matters what they are composed of, what they have absorbed. Dr. Adams went on to say that persons at risk for osteoporosis should take not only calcium and vitamin D, but also strontium and vitamin K2 in order to assure that they are laying down the strongest matrix of bone possible. Without the K2, the calcium gets deposited on blood vessel walls and creates plaques, which are bad for cardiovascular health. Without the strontium, the matrix laid down is not as structurally sound. In order to have real bone health, strong bones resistant to fractures, one needs a combination of all 4 supplements.